G'day guys, Rob here, and today you join me for How It Was Made episode 33, and this is the Pirelli Edition Lamborghini Aventador. Now I found some pictures on the internet of this black beast, the black version of the Pirelli Edition Lamborghini Aventador, so I thought I would make my own model of this particular car. Now Rob from Car Models in Austria was kind enough to send me this AUTOart Aventador for free. It did have some missing mirrors and a missing windscreen wiper. It also had no box, so he said, here you go, you can have this model and see what you can do with it. Now I was able to find the replacement parts on AUTOartspares.com. The model was then disassembled into all its many pieces. Take your time with these Aventador models. Lots of little parts, and I've got a selection of some decals that are ready to use. So what I was attempting to do with this model was to see if I could just clear coat this matte black body. So first I applied all the red Pirelli striping, which was just 1mm stripe decal from Interdecal, and I applied that on all the body parts as per the real car. Now some of the edges are a little bit pointy where the decals meet. Once the decals are dried, I just cheat a little bit and use some black paint and smooth out the corners where the decals meet on an angle. So once the model is clear coated, you won't see those touch-ups. Now I decided to apply some carbon fibre decal to all the vent openings and to the scoop outlets on the body as well, just to give it that extra bit of detail. I then masked up what I needed to and then put the model in the spray booth, and I sprayed 2K clear straight over the top of the AUTOart factory paint. Now all I did here was use some wax and grease remover prior to clearing the body, and it turned out fine. So you can actually spray 2K clear straight over the factory AUTOart paint, for anyone that was wondering if that was possible. Now I gave it 3 light coats of 2K clear on all the parts, and I got a really good finish with the standard black AUTOart paint as a base, so really happy with how that came out. Here you see the bulldog clips holding the tiny little pieces. I use bulldog clips all the time with these little pieces while I'm spraying them. While that was drying, I moved on to the interior and added the off-center red stripe decal on the seats and some little red Lamborghini crest decals on the headrests also. Next I wanted to add the tyre striping and tyre branding onto the new tyres. Now I got these Roadster set of wheels from AUTOart Spares a while back. They're really hard to find. When they pop up on the website, they get sold very quickly. So I'll be using those on this particular model instead of the standard Aventador wheels. I think it really brings it to life with the red Pirelli tyre stripes and branding. So just put those bits and pieces back together. Now this particular model has a matte black or a satin black roof, so I masked up the body and those other parts, and I simply sprayed Tamiya flat clear straight over the top of the 2K clear. Now there's no reaction with this process, and it gives a nice silky smooth satin black finish, as you can see here. So all the decals are under the clear and looking good. I then re-glued all the mesh pieces back onto the grille openings and then started to glue those back into the body. I also glued on the headlight lenses back here. Rear carbon vents glued back into the body, and the front little carbon vents behind the hood. Front windscreen went back into the model, and then I could start reassembling the rest. So the doors were screwed on, dashboard went back into the model, and just test fitted the doors the way they opened, and they opened up like factory. So really happy with how that came out. Then the interior engine trim piece went in, and then from underneath the engine assembly screwed back into the die-cast shell. I could then screw the interior pan back into the model, and then the side skirts were screwed back on as well. So just want to check with the opening of all parts as they go, just to make sure everything works properly. Front cargo area went back in, and then the floor was screwed back onto the model. So nearly finished the model here, so just thought I'd have a look at it, sitting on its wheels, and really happy with how it's coming along so far. The windscreen wipers were then glued back on, and so were the side mirrors. The rear engine windows were then glued in also with micro crystal clear, which is a water-based glue, really good for clear parts. I got a couple of little dust spots in the rear wing, so I had to sand that back and re-clear it. Now the model turned out so good that I didn't want to fit this black plastic rear diffuser back on, so I decided to fully carbon fibre in decal. So I first sanded it to remove a lot of the texture off the plastic part. I then took it outside, gave it 3 coats of Tamiya grey primer and then 3 coats of Tamiya flat black just to smooth it out, and then I made up templates of lots of pieces and I completely covered the rear diffuser top and bottom in this hobby design carbon fibre decal. When that was dry, I then put these parts back in the booth and sprayed 2K clear on the rear wing and also the rear diffuser as well. Now this locks all the decals in place so they'll never peel off, and then once these were dry, I screwed the rear wing back onto the body. I could reassemble the exhaust system into the rear diffuser, and then the rear diffuser could be fitted back onto the die-cast body as well. I had to remove the floor to do that, and then I refitted the floor. And then I finished off the model with a custom Lamborghini Aventador Pirelli Edition number plate. So this is how the model presents, mounted on a red leather base with a custom nameplate. So overall, really happy with how this model turned out. It was a relatively quick flip. It didn't require stripping it all the way back to the bare metal and repainting it. As I said, this was a test to see if I could add a 2K clear coat straight over the top of the factory Lamborghini paint, and it was successful. So that opens up a few more possibilities of what you can do with customizing these models and using the factory paint. So yes, as I said, really happy with the overall result. I really like the Pirelli Edition Aventadors with the red striping and detail on them. It gives the old Aventador a bit of new life, and that's why I built my big 1/8 scale Porsche Aventador Roadster in the Pirelli livery as well. So yeah, really happy with how it came out. I hope you guys like the end result here. I could have done it in another colour as well, but I think it looks pretty sinister in this full black colour with black wheels. Just a nice highlight to have the yellow brake calipers in there as well. So I hope you enjoyed today's how it was made of this Pirelli Edition Lamborghini Aventador. If you're new to the channel, why not subscribe? Don't forget to smash that like button, and plenty more videos on the way soon. So until next time, thanks for watching Rob's Model Cars.